LeBron James has made history once again. He's officially passed 40,000 points in his NBA career, becoming the first ever player to do so. Years ago, people didn't think that passing Kareem's all-time record would be possible, and now LeBron has 40,000 points. Look at this Reddit thread from 2013 that asked people if they thought anyone could pass Kareem. There's a few people in there who said players like LeBron, Durant, and Kobe could possibly pass him, but the majority of people said there was no chance anyone could. LeBron ended up doing it, and now with every point he scores, he continues to set the bar higher for anyone looking to pass the all-time scoring record in the future. We don't know how many points LeBron's going to end with, so it's hard to figure out if anyone has a chance of passing the all-time scoring record, but we can ask another question. Will anyone else join the 40,000 point club? Before scoring 40,000 points, someone else is going to have to pass Kareem's scoring record, which took 39 years before LeBron was able to surpass him. Even before passing Kareem though, a player needs to join the very exclusive club of 30,000 point scorers. Only 7 players in NBA history have been able to achieve this feat. There is an active player though who's likely to join this club as early as next season. Kevin Durant currently has about 1,600 points until he becomes the 8th player in NBA history to surpass 30,000 total career points. He's the obvious first candidate when it comes to someone else scoring 40,000 points. While 30,000 points is in the bag for him, 40,000 points just doesn't look like a realistic possibility for Durant. I hate using the argument of age because we're literally watching LeBron defy the odds in best father time, but the fact is that players will get worse with age. It happens to everyone. That's just the way of life. Durant's going to be 36 years old at the start of next season, and he'll still be over 11,000 points away from 40,000 career points. Durant's still an elite player though, and it looks like he still has a few years left to play. Let's say Durant's able to play for another 5 seasons after this one. He would likely need to score 2,300 total points each of the next 5 seasons. Durant hasn't scored that many total points since 2014. 2,300 total points in a season is about a 28 point per game average over 82 games. Durant's only played in over 70 games once since 2016, and that was 5 years ago. Durant has also had unfortunate injury luck compared to LeBron. In Durant's first 16 seasons, he missed a total of 332 games. That's including the entire 2019-20 season. In LeBron's first 20 seasons, he missed a total of 219 games. And I'm not saying Durant reaching 40,000 points is out of the realm of possibility. To achieve it though, he would have to play until he's about 45 years old. We just saw Brady do it in football, so maybe Durant can do it in basketball. While something like that is realistically possible, I wouldn't say it's probable. When you think of an older player scoring a lot of points, one of the next players that comes to your mind is likely Steph Curry. The greatest 3-point shooter of all time seems like a prime candidate to reach 40,000 career points. And then you look at the numbers. Curry at 35 years old, soon to be 36, has about 23,000 points in his NBA career. He might possibly not even reach 30,000 points. Unlike Bron and KD, Steph didn't start his career as an elite scorer. He didn't average over 20 points per game until his 4th season, and that's something LeBron and Kevin Durant have done every year of their career. Curry isn't even the closest active player to Kevin Durant on the all-time scoring list. Both Russell Westbrook and James Harden have more all-time points than Curry does, and unlike Curry, Durant, and LeBron though, these two have clearly taken a large step back in their scoring abilities. Russ is averaging the least amount of points in his career at about 11 points per game, while Harden is averaging the least amount of points since he came off the bench for the Thunder at about 17 points a game. It's clear that the older star players in the league aren't going to be the ones to join LeBron in the 40,000 point club. But what about the current stars who are in their primes right now? Giannis, Jokic, and Embiid are generally considered to be the 3 best players in the league. There are arguments for other players, but these 3 guys have been the main MVP candidates for the past 4 to 5 years. Giannis is the highest on the all-time points list out of these 3 at around 18,000 points. Like Curry, Giannis didn't average over 20 points per game until his 4th season, but he's been lucky enough to not have any major injuries during his career. For Giannis to reach 40,000 points, he'd have to average about 30 points per game for another 9 seasons while playing all 82 games. Giannis hasn't played 82 games in a whole season once in his career, and asking a guy who plays basketball as physical as Giannis does to sustain that level of play for another 9 straight seasons is just absurd. I know sports science is greater than it's ever been, and players are playing longer than ever, but a big part of that is taking the necessary rest to allow your body to recover. Jokic has about 13,500 points in his career, but he's only 3 months younger than Giannis. He doesn't stand a chance to reach 30,000 points, let alone 40,000. He's the greatest passing big man in NBA history, and while he's a good scorer, it isn't the main focus when he's on the court. Joel Embiid, on the other hand, is an elite scorer. He's averaged over 20 points per game in every season of his career, and he's led the league in scoring twice. He He was on his way to leading the league in scoring for a third time this season, but then he got injured. That right there is the main reason why Embiid won't be the player to join LeBron in the 40,000 point club. He's had a career full of injuries. He's older than both Giannis and Jokic, but he only has about 12,000 career points. If Embiid had the same luck with injuries that LeBron has had, he would already have over 20,000 points in his career. LeBron's longevity is a big factor in his career points, but his injury luck is just as big of a reason why. LeBron didn't miss over 10 games in a row until his 16th season in the league. He only missed 71 games in the first 15 years of his career. The majority of those missed games were scheduled rests, not even injury. Embiid missed out on the entirety of his rookie season due to injury. It took him one season to miss more games than LeBron did in 15 years. So the current top players that are in their prime aren't going to be the ones to reach 40,000 points. There's one player though that I'm sure you've all thought of that might have the chance. Before I talk about that player though, I just want to say if you're enjoying the video, I'd appreciate it if you could leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I make content about any random sports topics, so if you love random sports debates with your friends, whether that be at work, at the lunch table, in an Xbox party, or in your betting group chat, you'll be happy you subscribed. Luka Donic has almost 11,000 points in his NBA career, and he's just in his 6th season in the league. Luka this season became the 7th fastest player in NBA history to score 10,000 points, and he did that in his 358th career game. LeBron didn't score his 10,000th point until his 368th career game. Luka's on pace to score more than LeBron when you go by games, but LeBron was actually younger than Luka when he scored his 10,000th point. LeBron was 23 years and 59 days old when he scored his 10,000th point, and Luka was 23 years 300 days old. LeBron is actually the youngest player in NBA history to pretty much every single major scoring milestone. He was able to join the NBA straight out of high school, and he was immediately one of the best players in basketball. While Luka played pro overseas, he still had to wait a year to enter the draft once he was no longer of high school age. So does Luka actually stand a chance to join the 40,000 point club? I think he does. Last season, Luka averaged 32.4 points per game, and that's more than LeBron has ever averaged in an entire season. In this season, Luka's averaging over 34 points a game. He's only 25 years old and just entering the prime of his career. Chances are, Luka continues to improve his game and could potentially average more points in the future than he is now. I think the biggest reason as to why Luka can join the 40,000 point club doesn't have anything to do with just him. The NBA is averaging over 115 points per game this season. That's the most since the 1969-70 season, and signs are pointing to league scoring continuing to rise. From the mid-90s to the early 2010s, NBA scoring was the lowest it had ever been, with teams averaging within the 90 to 100 point range. The beginning of LeBron's career coincided with this. In 2003, LeBron's rookie season, the league averaged 93.4 points per game. That's the second lowest total since 1955. In 2018, Luka's rookie season, teams averaged 111.2 points per game. That is a huge difference in scoring between the start of these two players' careers. The rise of the three-point shot has changed the league and created higher scoring. The 35 three-point attempts per game this season is the highest mark in NBA history. While Luka wasn't able to start his NBA career as early as LeBron did, the average number of points scored being so much higher is enough to make up the difference. If Luka is able to stay healthy throughout what looks to be a long career, I think he'll be the next player to join the 40,000 point club. If Luka isn't able to reach that mark, then I don't think the next player to score 40,000 points is in the league today. That next player might be in the 3rd grade for all we know. To be able to come into the league and immediately be a high-impact player is already hard enough. To add to that, you also have to have a continued level of dominance for 20 years. What LeBron was able to do is something that people thought was at one point impossible, but he was able to do it, so I'm sure that someday there's going to be someone else that can do it too.